Hey there everyone, my name is Dave and welcome to the NTD Racing Speed Shop. Behind me is Lefty, our budget desert race truck. And right now I'm working on building a light bar. So I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm using my tube roller called the Hulk from Swag Off-Road and bending 2" by 2" square tube with a 120 wall, so 1/8 inch wall. It's pretty hefty stuff. And here is what the bumper kind of looks like. You can see this radius that I'm working with on the bumper. And so this video is going to end up being super long. So I'm going to break out the piece where I show you how I take the measurements from this piece of metal. I put that into Fusion 360 to figure out what the radius is and some other dimensions. And then I put those into the BendTech software such that I can make the other tubes around this thing and we can put the Dragon A250 to work. So let's go ahead, head over to the bench, pull some dimensions off this, and then we'll put them into the computer. Let me show you some of the things that we will be using to get the dimensions off this tube. Let me just show you real quick. These are the Harbor Freight Road Shock Edge lights. And I made a whole video on how I made the first light bar, and then we made another video after the Min 400 where we ripped the light bar off. So all 6 of these lights are sitting out there in the desert somewhere, but Harbor Freight sent us some more. And they are, hands down, the best off-road lights I've used, and I've used them all. I've used the most expensive, and I used the cheapest ones before. These things are awesome. Anyway, some of the other tools here, we got angle aluminum. I use this stuff for everything. It's the greatest straight edge, and you can write on there, and I have all the markings on there kind of already primed up. This is something off my 3D printer. It helps me find the center of a tube, a square tube especially, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that. And then the tape measure. So let's go ahead and pull some dimensions off of this tube. All right, so first off, this tube is longer than my piece of angle aluminum, and that's totally okay because you can still figure out what the radius is, which we're gonna have to use later. But the first thing I wanna do is I wanna mark the center line of this square tube all the way around. And again, I'm gonna use this thing that I printed on my 3D printer. I've got a whole bunch of videos of me using the Crowdy Ender 3 3D printer, which I think is just like one of the coolest tools that you can have. The more you use it, just so many cool things you can do with it. We make RC car stuff all the time. So you can check out a couple of my videos on how I use that. But this tool does a really good job of marking that center line on that tube. Now what I have is this piece of angle aluminum, and I've already marked it. It's about 44 inches long, but I've marked it at the 20" point and the 40" point. So basically I'm gonna measure 40 inches across this tube, and I need to find the center point, because what I need to do to define a circle or an arc is I need 3 points. And I'm gonna show you later on when we use Fusion 360 why I use those. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tip of this angle aluminum and I'm gonna put it on the line, and on the other, somewhere else on the line, on the same line that I drew with that pencil, I'm gonna put the mark that I have for the 40 inches exactly on that line. So I got both sides on there. And then now you can kind of see, I can define, left and right, 20 inches left, 20 inches right. Now I need to be able to define just off the center, how far is it onto that center line, that same center line. So from the 20" point that I marked on this piece of angle aluminum, as I measure it up, it's just, I don't know why the math works so good. This is awesome. It's exactly 2 inches. Okay, so we got those points now. Let's go ahead over to Fusion 360 and we'll put those things in there. I'm gonna show you how we find the radius for this tube that we rolled in Swag Off-Road's Hulk tube roller.
All right, we're going over here to Fusion 360. You can still find this from the generous folks at Autodesk for free for home use, non-commercial use over here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sketch on Fusion 360 by clicking on this button up there. And the plane that I always sketch on is this Y and X plane. So you gotta pick one of these. So I highlight it and I pick that Y and X plane. And then whenever I use a word hotkey, that means I'm hitting the key on my keyboard. In this case, I hit an L and you can see where it selected the line. Now I can just go over there and click on line, also just a little quicker using hotkeys. I'm going to go ahead down to this red line down here. This is the Y-axis, and I'm going to go ahead. Once you see that it makes a box over that, it's going to let you snap your cursor to that line. I'm going to hit the left mouse key and start drawing this line out. I want to make sure that, as you can kind of see, as I roll it up and down, the degrees change. I want it to stay snapped to that line where that degrees equals 0, and I'm going to put the length of that piece of angle aluminum on there that I had, which was 40 inches, and then I'm going to hit enter. Now that line is on the basically the plane there. So now we'll go over here to constraints, and these kind of lock in parameters for whatever it is you've got. In this case, I want the midpoint, because what I want is I'm going to select this line. I want that midpoint of that line to be at the center of the X and the Y axis there, and you can kind of see how it centered it. Now I have 20 inches to the left and 20 inches to the right of that center line. The third point that we pulled off of that tube was 2 inches. So I'm going to hit hotkey L, and from the center there, I'm going to go straight up 2 inches and hit enter. And now I got the 3 points which are going to define this circle. Now to make circle, I could hit hotkey C, and you can kind of see where it brought up the circle over there. But what I really want is to click on this create option, drop down to circle, and you can see the different kinds of circles I can make. But the one that I want is a 3-point circle. And to make that work with this, you need to start with the center one where you see it snaps, it makes that square box there. I'm going to click on that, and then over to the left side and over to the right side. And now you can see, now it has made a circle defined off of those 3 points. I'm going to scroll out until I can find the origin of that. I'm going to hit hotkey L, click on the center of that, and now we can see that the radius that it made is 101 inches. So I'll write that number down because I'm going to need to put that into the die library in BendTech. All right, so one other thing we need to get out of here, the last dimension, is with BendTech, when you make a bend, is what we're basically doing here, it's you have 2 straight lines, and where those 2 lines meet, which are tangential to your circle, in this case, that is where you're going to put a pick point, and that's how we're going to define the circle. Basically, that center pick point is where the bend is going to happen, and it's usually outside of wherever the bend is going to be. So to do that, I'm going to hit hotkey L. I'm going to go over to the intersection of the radius of the circle and where that straight 40-inch line was, and where it makes a box there. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to run it over to the X-axis, this green line. I'm going to kind of run it down until I see that it has made it tangential. There we go. You can kind of see as I kind of run it up and down that line, and if you look over to the left side where the intersection again of the arc of the circle and that 40-inch line, you can see there's a symbol there that's a circle with a straight line, and that's the constraint, which is tangential. So I'm going to click on that to lock that in, and you can kind of see that tangential representation up here in the constraints. And basically what that means is that's the closest point where that line will touch the circle, but it's not going to go inside the circle. I'm going to go over and do the same thing on the other side. You can see that tangential constraint symbol over there. I'm going to click on that. And then now that's where these 2 basically tubes will be represented in BendTech software. And where they meet, I kind of need to get that value right there. So I'm going to hit hotkey L again. I'm going to click on that point and find out what the distance is from there down to the arc of the tube that I made, and I see that it is 2.04 inches, so I'm going to write that number down. And now I have all the values I need to go over to the BendTech software and make this tube. So we're making it over here in my old roll cage, which I call is Lefty, the one I took to BendTech to cut all the tubes for it. Now, this is the BendTech CAD software, which is amazing, and I'm asked all the time, or at least I see online people say, oh, what kind of tube notcher should I get? And I say, don't get any tube notcher. It costs you more than buying the BendTech software. With the tube notcher, you're not really going to be able to create very complex nodes like this, which you can with the BendTech software if you just got a printer, like a paper printer to cut out the templates to make those cuts, and then an angle grinder I think is amazing. I did happen to cut this one out at BendTech using the Dragon A250, which I have in my shop, and it's an amazing machine. And I'll show you how I use that on the next episode if you tune in for that. But anyway, we're going to make a pick point because, again, that bumper is going to be off here on the front, which is going to hold our light bar. So I'm going to go to pick points. I really need to kind of anchor that off of this center of this tube right here. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to put no values in here and hit apply. And that just put a pick point right there at the center of that tube. Now this bumper that I'm putting out there, just the geometries that are going to work on my car, are that's going to go down 1.25 inches. And then the front of the bumper, to tuck it underneath the hood, is going to be 10.5 inches. And that's how far it's going to go down and forward. I'm going to apply that pick point right there. And now I'm going to use that pick point as a reference for the other pick points. The first 2 points that we need to find are defined by that 40-inch piece of angle aluminum. So I'm going to go ahead and clear all the values. We know that was back from that point 2 inches. And then we also know that it was 20 inches left and 20 inches right. So if I go back 2 and 20 left and hit apply, now it puts a pick point there. Now it was 20 inches the other way too, so I'm just going to click on right. You see it flip that value of 20 over to the other side. I'm going to hit apply, and then now I've got those 2 points. And then the third point, which defines this tube that's being arced, remember was 2.04 inches forward. So I'm going to clear the values of that. I'm going to say 2.04 inches forward of that pick point that is on the tube, and hit apply. And now I've got the 3 points that I need to define what this tube is going to be. So from here, there's a couple things that we need to do with the other values that we had to make this work out. First, we need the value of our tube that we have off of our tube library. I already have 2-inch square tubing in there, but the 2-inch square tube, the rolled one that I have, what you need to do is tell it, well, what was the radius? So you go into tools and you go in the die library, and if I click on my 2-inch square tube, you can see I already have that in there, the 101 inches. So you just put that value in there that we pulled off of the Fusion 360. You'd say save and then close that. And then now you need to make sure you have the right size tube, the right size die. You would click on bend, and then now I want it to have one bend. I'm going to say okay. And then I would just kind of connect the dots from left to right or right to left, doesn't matter. And you can see it's going to call it part 8. I could call it my bumper. I'm going to click OK. And then now it's created that tube right through that one point we knew it was going to do. And if I hit main, you can kind of see what that rolled tube is going to look like right on the front of the truck. And then in the next episode, if you tune in for that, I'm going to show you how I connect all these things up and complete this light bar and basically bumper on the front of the car to hopefully we won't rip off at the next race.
Well, I hope you like what you saw here and you'll consider subscribing, and even more importantly, hitting that notification bell, which will tell you when the next video comes out where we finish this whole project, get the light bar on there with those awesome road shocks from Harbor Freight, and most importantly, get the Dragon A250 to work. So hope to see you next week. Take care of yourself.